Hi, welcome to my life. I am Kismet, the feral grandma. And once again, I'm hoping that other people's music aren't coming through my sound quality here. I'm just using my phone, so the quality is not perfect, but I don't like it. They play it so loud that you can't escape the bass beat, even inside another home. Generally, they'll play it outside to make it even harder to get away from it. I have not been very productive of videos lately. I have been trying to move a very, very small, painful stone out of my body. Some of you have been there, some of you have not. I don't wish this on anybody. And just as I begin to feel better on one side, I feel it on the other side. Not the same one, a different one, an additional one. And it hurts. But today, at least, kind of fun, I have 3 different pans of meat in the smoker. It is not my daughter's doing, it is mine. I got a nice pork belly in there with some seasoning all over it, and it's cut through almost to the skin. There's always this thin layer of skin on. I would prefer to buy without that. Also, 2 racks pork ribs. And they've only, they don't take as long as a brisket does. 4.5, 5.5 hours, whatever. And that's cool. But I do have a tiny spider update. Obviously not the same tiny spider, but there is a tiny spider on my deck, kind of between a flower pot and the smoker. I don't know what it catches to eat, but I have seen tiny traces of web on little avocado seedling and mystery citrus. And that's cool too. I'm wondering if I need to add some wood chips. But at this point, I think any more smoke would be overdoing it. It smoked across 4 hours. My daughter is out getting her boy from his dad's. Okay. And she will call if she has any vehicle trouble. And the sky is as clear as can be here today. Cloudless, but I've got shade on the front deck because we're far enough along in the year that the sun is going to be sunny to the north side of the home and not to the south side. Although the sun is very clear right there, I can, do that thing like the prudes. Sun on my hand. I have meat in here that's safe to be eaten. Just because the temperature is acceptable does not mean it's time to eat it. Not that I worry too much about the time. I did eat earlier today. I tried not to overeat because I rather like ribs with some barbecue seasoning on them. I have a no sugar barbecue rub. The things you can find when you want some flavor and you're looking and you're kind of desperate. I don't just need everything to be beef. I don't just need everything to be smoked. Good God, no. I especially don't need ground beef dishes to be smoked. Yet, Loki and the daughter have decided that that's the only way they will ever eat meatloaf forever. Ad nauseum. I don't even really like meatloaf. I can stomach some now and then if it's not smoked. Putting it in the smoke just makes it feel like underdone rubber threads. Not real fond of burger patties either. I make a terrible carnivore. Sometimes I like pork, but for the most part, not usually smoked. Ugh. But ribs I like, beef ribs I like, steak is okay. And if you ever find it, there's a type of non-pork bacon that's not turkey. It's made of beef. It's actually pretty good. Ooh, warm weather here. Now, I spent most of this week trying to enroll as an IBO for Cerule. I like their products. They make me feel better. The blood flow improvement from plasma flow is probably even better for me. I don't know, maybe it's better for me than what I get from using the grounding mat. The dog does his best when I can move normally. Then I'll be down on the ground with him in the mornings, 3 days a week while Loki goes to the office. I have more weed eating I need to do, but it'll be hard while I move the second stone. I think the first one may have gone where it is going to go to. I was just checking over my glasses down here. I thought I saw a spider. I don't think it is now, though. I think it's just a cobweb with some dandelion fluff in it. What up, puppy dog? It occurred to me I had not talked much about using the smoker. Typically, I use the grill. And that's cool. But the smoker has 4 wire rack shelves in it. And this model is a master build. And it's got an added on smoke chamber, so you're not just using there's a little tray that's cylindrical that we used to use, and you would basically fill it up with chips, shove it back in where it came from, and turn it over to dump the chips out where they would be heated, and that would provide the smoke. We added on, or Loki added on, but it came with instructions, so it's not impossible. There's a tower that you fill up with wood chips, and it's a chimney-shaped thing, and it's got a little top on it so that it's not the best escape route for the smoke. And it's on the side of the unit over here. Let me show it. This whole big box gets the smoke from this little box. And the little box, you turn it, it's electric. You turn it on and it heats up the pieces and shoves them through to an ash chamber that you would then, at some point, empty. But it sure beats minding smoke all day long. Offset smoker on the ground down there was minding smoke and fire. But we've got 2 racks of ribs in there and 1 pan of pork belly, and I'm hoping with the pork belly that I can turn it over so that the skin will be on top, which is normally how you would smoke it, but I wanted the flavor on the meat. But then shove it under the broiler of the stove in the kitchen. I'll have to use an upper rack position for that, and make it blister and bubble and become like the pork rinds you get at the store. Done well, it's supposed to work. But it's been in there rendering all this time, so I'll have to pour the fat off, I'm sure. Oh, my eyes. I've been reading today. I have thoroughly got my read back. It sure took long enough. It's been, okay, let me see. One year and 8 months, almost to the week, since I had my TIA. And I'm hoping, since my reading is back, that maybe my balance will improve and I'll stop getting scrapes on my knees. Get more out of my martial arts and the gym. I really need to go to the gym, because I need strength in my arms too. They're nowhere near where they need to be strength-wise. If I was content to just sit around repotting flowers and maybe planting some herbs, then I would have plenty, but there's more to life. I have more camping trips I want to go on. Can't be doing that with stones moving out of my kidneys. So I guess tonight will be another night that I go to bed with a little bit of vitamin ibuprofen in my system. I am glad that it is not several times a day, every day like it used to be, because when I was eating standard American diet or Western medicine diet. You eat the Western food, you need the Western medicine. If you don't need it yet, you will soon. That's all I can say about that. But that was when my arthritis was really horrible. I still have moments when I get up from seated without any sound effects from my knees. The sound effects usually have pain with them. I don't need pain. You don't need pain. You and your parents and your siblings and your friends and your coworkers don't need the pain. But all the stuff we eat, all the stuff people eat that does not nourish them or help them in any way, hurts them. It might not seem like it when you have a cup of tea and decide you want a cookie with it, but the sugar in the tea and the glyphosate in the wheat that the flour is ground from, and the sugar in the cookie recipe, and any artificial colors and flavorings made from God only knows what that are in the cookie, candy bits, or even fruity bits that, it could have been once a perfectly nice piece of fruit, but it may have gone on to become something full of weird preservatives and chemicals to heighten, brighten, and preserve the color. Things that preserve flavors. And that stuff's been getting into my body since I could sit up and reach for food. And that was, I don't know when I sat up, what age I was, but it was before I could walk. Most of us sit before we walk. And people put things like Cheerios or Fruit Loops in front of us. And because we're investigating the world, we eat them. But it goes on from there. We eat brightly colored breakfast cereal as small children. Some kids will actually have enough sense of self-preservation that if they notice how some of these cereals make your mouth feel, think about it. If you eat some things, you will feel like you've been experimenting with a mouthful of extra sharp sand. Oh, they're back. Hang on. I was talking breakfast cereal. How some of them just give you a weird feeling like it was trying to cut up your mouth. Like you were experimenting with a mouthful of extra sharp sand. Not just sand, extra sharp sand. Like eating too many pixie sticks. And then the daughter and grandson came along, and a stray dog wants to move in, and a chihuahua wants to get in a fight, so he got sent in. I'm glad to be outside. I mentioned I have my read back. And I started with a few things I like. Tale of Peter Rabbit and Matilda. Matilda's a good story. And my son got me an Audible account. And I listened to Dune, which the book is a lot not like some of the movies in many ways. It's always not like, or not entirely like a movie. The one's done by the Sci-Fi Channel. Weird. Oh, I thought I was hearing the stray dog sniff around, but I realized that Dyson has been sent in, so he's sniffing at the door wanting me to come in. Anyway, I was trying my wedding band on. It hasn't fit for a very long time. And I realized that it might fit if I took it off the chain it was on. Because it's one of those steel ball chains that you can open it up easily, even just you find that little connector link and pinch it. And I was trying to get it off of there and get it onto my finger, but I couldn't grasp hold of it very well, and it slid. It slid off the edge of the bed and all the way to the floor, and it might have rolled under the shelf unit. It might have rolled under the bed where Loki has some totes and things stuffed. I could not find it, but as I was looking for it, I came to The Giver Quartet. It's a set of 4 books. It starts with The Giver, which is a pretty freakish read on its own, and it's Lois Lowry, I think. And someone might come along in a minute and tell me I'm wrong. How dare I not look it up? But I'm not sitting next to a computer. I'm outside talking to my phone. Outside is good. But The Giver, Gathering Blue, and then there was another one, I can't remember. And it all comes back around to the boy Jonas. And all of this is connected. Gathering Blue gives us the introduction to the girl that will grow up to be the wife of Jonas. And then the third one, there's lots of character development going on in that one. And it's about people and how quickly they'll trade away things that are important, like their integrity, to have things that are convenient or fun. And then the last book goes back to the community Jonas was from, and it's before he left with the infant Gabriel. But it gives us some backstory. We learn more about the community, and we find out about Gabe's birth mother. And that's cool. It's really nice. It's a bit of a freaky read. It's not for everyone. I was telling Loki about it because I think he might like it. But it was time to put it down. I've read most of the day. I did not go to martial arts yesterday because the stone in the right side was hurting me. I'm hoping I can get the one in... I've been stretching. Stretching is helpful. I've also had a small bruise on my leg. So that's fading. I imagine I will go to class tomorrow. I need to be consistent. I need to get at least a couple workouts every week. And I really need to get back on that machine at the gym. It can take years to rebuild what we've lost. And it's hard to do. It's so hard to do that many people will just call it pointless. Oh, you're old, you don't need to do that. Or otherwise a wasted effort. Well, guess what? I still want to be able to go camping, so to me it's not wasted effort. But I need the grip strength to stretch those poles out until they click into place, and to put them away afterward. I mean, pressing the button is easy enough, as long as I can press it till it clicks. But after 40 plus years of eating all the wrong foods, I'm having the exact same problems other people have had after decades of eating the wrong foods. And it doesn't matter what your argument is. If somebody wants to make dinner at home and eat a quiet dinner at home, then whining for a McDonald's run because you'd rather go get a couple of Big Macs and some fries, you're not being reasonable about your own health. You're not being fair to the person who's trying to be healthy. So think about that when you start making plans to do things that are not right, not wise. Or be willing to speak up for yourself more when people say, just go ahead and get it with the cheese. It's not going to hurt you. Yes, it will. If you're eating high glycemic load foods with your fats, you're going to Randle cycle all over the place, and that glycemic load is going to shoot your insulin through the roof where it doesn't belong. If you don't believe me, go ask Dr. Chafee, go ask Dr. Baker, go ask Dr. Barry, or go ask Bart K. Or Dr. Unwin. He's brilliant. Very nice gentleman, too. I've not met him. I've not met any of these people. But basically, the ones who want us to be okay, they're good people. In many cases, they're good people who have risked their careers to get the information out that we need. We need to know that a lot of things are bad for us. Things other people call superfoods, some people call toxic superfoods. Man, cats, have you noticed they don't live as long as they used to? Because they're obligate carnivores. But they get used to eating the kibble, so when they're hungry, they eat it because that's what's available in their dish. And if you care about your cat, you probably keep them inside and they use a box. They don't go out where they might accidentally eat mice that have been poisoned by the decon in someone's crawl space. Or birds that are dead because they've been just dropping out of the sky after filling up on bugs at the edge of Farmer John's field, where it's been sprayed and sprayed and sprayed, first with, insecticides, and glyphosates, and all kinds of other things. You don't want kitty eating those. Ooh. Mystery citrus has gotten a little bit taller. I remember when I looked at the tiny thing showing 2 leaves hidden down underneath that mat of, I don't know what kind of virus, sphagnum moss or whatever. But, it's getting taller. And the little avocado seedling is still thinner than a pencil. It's green at the very bottom of the twig that should become a trunk, and green at the very top, but it's brown in between, like it's been bothered by something. I don't know, maybe aphids or some. Oh, I don't know how much you can see of it, but it's green on one side, the side that gets the afternoon sun, and it's just a long brown area. It might be trying to make bark. I have no clue. Come over here. Mystery says citrus. Yep. It's almost as tall as my fingernail. Although if you count the main root, it's taller. The new leaves it was making have been getting chewed, so I'm very hopeful that there's a spider over here somewhere. You can see this webbing. I don't know. Yeah, you can kind of see the webbing. But, yeah, if something wants to be alive up here, eating the bugs, that's fine. Oh, it is almost 8. I have got to pull the meat inside and start doing stuff and making sure it's available for everyone to eat. I hope everyone is in better shape than I am. If not, I hope you're doing something to improve it. Because getting old hurts, and it's not for wimps, I'll tell you. Especially when a lifetime of bad food choices come back to you. Yeah. If you don't believe me about that, go ask semi-retired Bob about gout. It hurts. Someone once tried to tell me I had gout, but I don't think I did. I think I was just in pain from being on my feet that day, but that was a long time ago. But I've got to I've got to get some meat inside. I hope everyone out there is being healthy and making good choices. But please remember, Grandma loves you and wants you to be okay. Bye-bye.